the Los Angeles prison in Sean's cell. Sean's lying in bed thinking. Till Helen came to Sean's cell, and Sean saw and got up and went to where Helen is. Helen, what are you doing here? To see you, of course. So, how you holding up? Knowing in a few weeks that I'm gonna die, that's not gonna happen. Why, trust me, I'm the only hopes of you getting out of here. Meanwhile, at the Leaving Book Cafe, Tina just got changed from the cashier. Thank you, Bobby. Have a great day. And as Tina went to the cabinet table where Kristen is, and saw her drinking her espresso. Oh, I didn't know you drink espresso. And as Kristen saw Tina, what do you want, Tina? Is there anything I can do to make you lot stop hating? Yes, by leaving my dad the hell alone. My mom's the only person who belongs to him. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Jared came in and saw Allison working at the front counter. And as he went and sat in one of the booths in her section, just as Allison turned and noticed him and went to where he is and arrived. Hey, I couldn't just leave things off the way it did. Lots has happened between us, yes, I know. Is that a bad thing? All I know is, look, I'm just worried about becoming the killer's next target, and I don't care. I don't care about the danger because I'm gonna protect you through it all. Meanwhile, outside the Grand Baptist Church, Karen's heading upstairs and arrived and put her hand on the door, and it's about to open. Karen wait, and as Karen stopped and turned and saw Jacob, who went to where she is. You got a minute? Sure. What's going on? I'm sure your husband has told you about the killer. Yes, and we'll be fully prepared when it comes for us. I don't think it's gonna matter. What do you mean? The danger is continuing to grow, but I got a bad feeling. About what? I don't think the shuttle games are over. Meanwhile, inside, Aaron's about to open the door to the sanctuary. Aaron wait, and as Aaron stopped and turned and saw Will, who came down the stairs to where he is. There's something I need to ask you. What is it? You remember when you defeated Zork almost 2 years ago, right? Yeah. Look, I know I was in rehab at the time, not to mention being sent to the shadow realm by these so-called shadow killers. But what if that same creature has become the ancient killer in some way? I know it sounds kind of daft wrong. It could be possible. There's more to it. I think Helen might be helping this killer. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary at Mary and Nate's wedding, Ryan is escorting his daughter Mary down the aisle while everyone is watching. And as Mary thinking while looking at Nate, soon, all my dreams will come true. I'm about to have a family with the man I desire, and there's nobody that's gonna stop me. Meanwhile, let's get to Nate, who's also thinking while watching Ryan escort Mary towards him. Finally, Mary is about to be my wife, and I'm not gonna let nobody come between us. And as Ryan and Mary arrived, and as Ryan went and lifted the veil off Mary. I love you. I love you too, Dad. And as they hug each other and pull back, and as Ryan went and stand by his wife Hannah, while Mary went to where Nate is and arrived, while everyone sat down, just as Mary and Nate turned and faced the minister. Welcome, family and friends, to this special occasion. We're here together and join these two together in holy matrimony. Let it be said, once these two say their vows, let no one come between them. Now, if there's any reason to why these two lot don't belong, please speak now or forever hold your peace. And as there's a moment of silence, while Mary and Nate look around to see if anyone objects. Now then, before we proceed with the ritual, let's have a word from Mary's matron of honor, Emily Hartley, and as the congregation applauded, while Emily went and faced the congregation at the podium, while the minister went and sat down, and as Emily looked at Mary and Nate, I just want to say, I am so glad my sister has finally returned to the man she's longed to love. I know these two belong together because fate put them together, and I want to wish them the best luck and for their future family. And as the congregation began applauding, while Emily went and stood in a respected spot while the minister got up and came and faced Mary and Nate, who saw him. Shall we begin the ritual? And as Nate looked at Mary, are you ready for this? And as Mary looked at Nate, I've been waiting for this for a long time. Let's do this. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison in Sean's cell, Helen and Sean are talking. Look, I may be in there at the moment, but I still have my family. Look, you belong to me, alright? You took advantage of my divorce to Mildred as if you want it to happen. Mildred and her friends might sucker you into believing that you're innocent, but you're not. It was you, and as Sean realized, you're the one who got me sent down in the first place. I'm impressed. It's too bad nobody's gonna believe your story. Besides, you're contained in this prison, not to worry. My family's gonna catch on to what you do. I have a question for you. Meanwhile, at the Leaving Book Cafe, Kristen and Tina are talking. I admire your determination, but Chris loves me. And I know, you know what? It's not only me. Jeff, Scott, Jennifer, Casey, Tyler, and the rest of us don't want you to be a part of our family. Look, I am not trying to, don't you get it? It's not winning or losing. It's about keeping my family safe from what you've done. I'm sorry you lot feel that way, but as long as I'm around, Chris and I will never leave. Mark my words, I will make certain you'll never marry my father. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Allison and Jared are talking. Look, I can't do this with you right now. Why? And as Jared got up and faced her, I know you're afraid, and I'm willing to give you all the space you need. We've been through so much, and we can't give up each other right now. We owe it to each other to be a family, you and I. Perhaps you're right. Of course I am. The thing is, I had a nightmare last night about our wedding, and Jacob's other half, who tried to exploit that I had feelings for Aaron's other half. Oi, don't let that dream deter you in any way. It's not worth coming between us. Thank you. I really needed that. I love you so much. I love you too. Which is why I need to tell you something. I think I know what it is. Meanwhile, outside the Grand Baptist Church, Karen and Jacob are talking. What do you mean the Shadow Games aren't over? You remember Gwen and Eric chant the ancient text to destroy the Shadow Realm, which Sword created. Yes, I remember that freak's gonna pay for what he's done. I hope you remember, because these feelings I have isn't right at all. You mean your other half is still alive? Yes, that could be very well possible. I don't get to what? I don't get it either. I do have a hunch, not only is he alive, he may be planning to bring back that dark creature. Meanwhile, outside the sanctuary, Aaron and Will are talking. I cannot believe Helen would help that killer. Not that I'm surprised, I know, but I thought you ought to know. This madness has got to stop. This ancient killer has been going around talking to every single person who went to Egypt. It cannot keep going on like this. Let me know if anything else happens. Sure thing. By the way, how's Brody doing? Yeah, My mom and dad went and saw him earlier. He's still in a coma. I cannot believe he was the second victim of this ancient killer. Not to worry. This thing will be stopped before it does any more damage. And as Annie came to where Aaron and Will is, and they both saw her. Aaron, you mind if I talk to you? I'll see you later. And as Will turned and walk away. How long have you been here? I returned 2 days ago, except when I tried to come and see you in all, I collapsed on my way to the hospital. Are you alright? I'm fine, but there's something I need to tell you. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, as Mary and Nate's wedding continues. Alright, let us begin the ritual. Mary, do you take Nate Collins to be your husband, for better or worse, richer or poor, and in sickness and health as long as you shall live? I do. Nate, do you take Mary Graham to be your wife, for better or worse, richer or poor, and in sickness and health as long as you shall live? I do. Let us enjoy the grace of love, happiness that surrounds us. Let God's love protect you two through everything. Let it be known the vows these two laws are saying are sacred, and let everyone else who remember their vows as well. Nate and Mary are looking forward to those who will one day getting married, and when that day comes, they will remember their vows. Now, let us proceed with the second part of the ritual. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison in Sean's cell, Helen and Sean are talking. And just what that be? I know you remember what we shared. We didn't share anything. As far as I'm concerned, all you did was force me. Wrong. You chose to be me because you wanted me, only to make Mildred jealous. Too bad I'm not letting you go that easy. The thing is, Helen, you already have, and the sooner you accept it, the better. There's no way I'm letting it end like this. Meanwhile, at the Leaving Book Cafe, Kristen and Tina are talking. You know what? It's really not up to you. How dare you try to talk to me like that? Don't you ever try to lecture me about talking at all. All I'm doing is protecting my dad. When you not gonna realize I'm not replacing your mom? Well, it seems you are. When you conveniently swept into my dad's life when my mom's gone. You know, all I did is love your father, and there's no way in hell I'm gonna stop now. Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Allison and Jared are talking, and as they went and sat in the booth. Eugene, of course, but I'm not gonna let that happen, I promise. Look, I'm sorry I walked out on you last night. You had a lot on your mind. Yeah, I did. All of a sudden, I found the true love of my life, and it kind of scared me. The reason being is, Autumn and I broke up because he had to head back to the spirit world. I understand. I knew you would. And as they got up and went and began hugging each other and pulled back. No matter what happens, I'm always on your side, shall you need me. I'm glad you are, because there's no one else I should turn to. Meanwhile, outside the Grand Baptist Church, Will came around to the front and saw Karen and Jacob talking by the door. And as he went upstairs to where they are and arrived, what's going on? And as Karen and Jacob turned and saw him, I think I know who the ancient killer is. Well, who is it? You remember my other half, right? How can I forget, mate, when he came to rehab and sent me to the shuttle room? Look, it's not your fault. And as Jacob looked at Karen, what are you thinking? Why would your other half or whoever decide to pursue this months after we left Egypt unless My sister may know more. That you really trust her after what she's done? She's lied to you about, of course not. And it's Jacob thinking, I know it's you. I know you're terrorizing people I care, but your game will soon end. Meanwhile, someone's watching Karen, Jacob, and Will from afar. Meanwhile, inside in the common area outside the sanctuary, Annie and Aaron are talking. What is it? Come on, Annie. We've known each other for almost 10 years. You can tell me anything. What I'm about to tell you will change everything as you know it. Alright, you fully got my attention now. There is no easy way to say this. Look, don't prolong this. Just tell me whatever it is, we can get through this. I know we will. The reason being is, I'm pregnant with your child. Say that again. You heard me. You and I are gonna have a baby. You remember Christmas night when we slept together? No, actually I don't. In fact, I meant supposedly after Halloween, before you were kidnapped. I just been dumped. Point is, you comforted me when I needed it the most, which result to where we are right now. I'm afraid there's more to this. What do you mean? We're not only having one baby, we're having twins. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, as Mary and Nate's wedding continues. Alright, repeat after me as you put the ring on Mary's finger. With this ring, I be wed. With this ring, I be wed. And as Nate put the ring on Mary's finger. And you, repeat after me as you put the ring on Nate's finger. With this ring, I be wed. With this ring, I be wed. And as Mary put the ring on Nate's finger. With the ritual drawn to a close, let it be said, since these two has officially said their vows, let no one come between them. Now, let's have a few words from Nate's brother and best man, Thomas Collins, and the congregation began applauding. Just as Thomas stepped out and faced the congregation, and as he turned and looked at Mary and Nate, who saw with the minister there. I just want to say, from the behalf of my brother, he's doing a good thing. Mary's no ordinary person. In fact, she's an extraordinary person. Quite amazing. And I want to wish her and my brother the best luck in life, because they're a great addition to the family. And I know they're going to have a good one in the future, especially towards their son Jonah. To Mary and Nate, and as everyone said, to Mary and Nate. Meanwhile, at the Los Angeles prison, Helen and Sean are talking. Look, just leave me alone. There's no point of doing whatever this is. It's over between us. Maybe for now, no, forever. So why don't you just get over it? Fine. It is quite clear of what your intentions are. Church, you damn right. So if you're done, wrong. I'm not done with you by a long shot, but I'll be back. Meanwhile, your former wife won't be here to see you anytime soon. Just do one. Lucky for you, I have other pressing matters. Please excuse me. And as Helen turned and walked away. Meanwhile, at the Leaving Book Cafe, Tina and Kristen are talking. You know, you're even foolish to think that. No, you're pathetic to think that I'm just gonna sit here and watch you destroy my father's life and all. I've saved it. You've been a threat since you came into our lives, and I think it's about time it comes to an end. Wrong, right? In fact, I won't let you succeed any further. Once I tell my father what you're up to, no. It seems you're out of luck, my friend, because I have no secrets. You naive cow. You do have one, and the best part is, it'll be the very thing that make you lose everything you have and so much more. And as Kristen turned and went and left the cafe, Meanwhile, at the Bayside Diner, Allison and Jared are talking.
You know, you're so amazing in what you do.
I try my best.
No, it's more than that. I truly love you with all my mind, body, and soul.
When you get off work, and as Allison began looking around,
you know what? It's kind of slow. Why don't we go home now so we can make all the living we can get?
Lead the way. And as Allison and Jared begin walking out the diner, holding hands. Meanwhile, outside the Grand Baptist Church, Karen, Jacob, and Will are talking. I wish I knew what went down when I was gone. Let me fill you in. My other half, along with your sister, Mimi, and Frank, conjured Zork, who was the same one responsible for creating the shuttle run that pretty much covered this entire planet, which was a nightmare. We have to permanently seal that monster.
Molly told me the other day about your other half and Zork being one and the same. Is that a theory?
I don't know if that's possible, but then again, Zork could be the true version of him. Luckily, Aaron and the Pharaoh defeated it before it caused any more havoc, but I have a funny feeling my other half is still out there, and if that's true, we may be in grave danger.
Look, I know sharing a mind with someone could be bad, but Karen,
he pretty much took over whenever he felt like it.
All I know is, if I find out your other half is this ancient killer, he will answer to me.
I also would like to have a shot of him, and you lot will get your chance, but if we don't get to the bottom of this, it could be too late. Meanwhile, someone is still watching Karen, Jacob, and Will from afar. Meanwhile, inside in the common area outside the sanctuary, Annie and Aaron are talking.
What is it?
I'm still trying to wrap my head around this. We're having,
yes, we are.
And as they went and hugged each other and pulled back.
I love you so much.
I do too. I just can't believe we're having a child. Just when things are working out between Vanessa and I again.
Look, I know you still care about her, and you can stay with her if you want.
I owe it to these twins to be there for them, and I will, which means I'm gonna have to end things with Vanessa.
No, you will do nothing of the sort. You two lot have come a long way, and I'm not gonna be the reason to why you're dumping my sister. Please excuse me.
And as Annie turned and went and left the church, just as Karen, Jacob, and Will came in, and Aaron saw them. Meanwhile, in the sanctuary, as Mary and Nate's wedding continues, may your family be strong and faithful, and may God forever be in your hearts. Going forth, by the power vested in me, I now pronounce you two husband and wife. Would you lot kindly follow me? And as Mary and Nate followed the minister, and as they went up a few steps towards the table where the candle is, this candlelight will serve as the finale of this ritual, which will symbolize your newfound marriage. And as Mary and Nate each lit one candle. Ladies and gentlemen, and as Mary and Nate turned and faced the congregation with the minister behind them, I give you Mr. and Mrs. Nate Collins. You may now kiss the bride, and as Mary and Nate turn and face each other. You ready for this?
Of course.
And as they begin kissing each other, with a round of applause and cheers from the congregation. Soon they pull away, and as Mary and Nate begin heading down the aisle, holding hands, followed by the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. On the next Natural Dreams Revelation, I'm really worried about our grandchildren. You mean with the ancient killer and blackmailer running about in LA? What's wrong?
I can't help but feel I might be in danger.
You really think it'll be that easy? Considering I'm a gram, I would think so.
You're Mandy Sheridan. That's what they say.